How good does that look? Our EK9 build is finished. It's been a bit of a restoration. However, this is more of a resto mod because under there is a K20. It's actually been a huge build. If you haven't followed the build series along on our social media, or seen any of the previous episodes, we've actually had this in build for 16 months. A big job. Basically, it's had absolutely everything. A full glass out respray. This is sunflower yellow because 99 to 2000 Hondas are actually sunflower yellow. It's still Y56, but the earlier cars, 96, 97, 98, are actually Phoenix yellow. The complete outside has been done by Stefan. Cracking job. All of the inside's been done as well, although all the interior's in there, you can't see it. All of the engine bay, that's all been painted as well, and not to mention all of the undersides, so it is better than factory because Hondas have no paint underneath. Aesthetics wise as well, obviously apart from the brand new paint, we've done a few choice upgrades as well. Brand new genuine EK9 headlight. They're new old stock because if you know Hondas, these actually fade really bad, but not only do they fade, you can polish them back, but they get lots of little hairline cracks, so that is a perfect little upgrade. And something else, spoon carbon fiber lip, because if you know your EK9s and your Honda hatches, Kanjo, and that is exactly what you need to get the right look. Not only is there a few little subtle mods, but there's also little details. Being given free rein to do whatever you want with something obviously means your artistic senses can run wild, and it's something I always like to do when I'm building a car is put little things in. So there's little stickers in the windscreen instead of having a VIN number there, because these don't have a VIN number in the window, but there is a gap in the brand new windscreen. I thought it was good to obviously use that and put DCG EK20 one of one there. Little nods like that. Also, keeping everything period correct, we've gone with Buddy Club P1 wheels. Obviously they've been fully restored, but another little detail, these usually have blue decals with a silver back. We've gone blue with a yellow back, so obviously it matches the brand new paintwork. And you might notice how low it is, because obviously it was getting fully resprayed. Kind of had free rein there as well, so it meant obviously modified all the arches, weld those back before it's painted, sealed those all in and everything. So obviously you can run the car at this height and there's no rubbing whatsoever. Something I've always loved, it is a pain, but something I've really enjoyed is obviously sourcing parts. Getting parts for JDM cars is extremely hard, Hondas in particular. And if you do find something, people generally won't sell it. This exhaust system is a full Greddy 3-inch, which is mega, brand new, off the shelf. I think they've started remaking them. I think that really finishes off the outside of the car, sits in there lovely. There is some heat shielding I've put in there as well. And I just think it looks epic and it sounds awesome as well. So if you remember when we first got this, it was in a very, very sorry state. It was literally just a rolling shell. Looked like it'd been dragged out of the hedge, and it was filled with parts. As we've gone through the build, there's been a lot of pieces missing, mainly on the interior. And obviously if you know your EK9s, everything's black, so it's EK9 specific, and certain things like this handbrake surround, that is EK9 only as well. There's lots of little things as well, like the rear parcel shelf, that didn't have the clips or anything. So obviously to get those separate from a parcel shelf's been an absolute mare, but all in all, I think it looks awesome. And something else that was really nice to find was the fact that it had power folded mirrors and still had the right mirrors on it as well, so everything works. So we're going to talk about the aftermarket parts in here now. Obviously we've got uprated speakers in here, obviously kind of a period correct head unit in here as well. Also this steering wheel, personal, looks incredible. Red stitching to go with all the rest of the interior, red horn as well. The horn works on the buttons because that piece there, the squib, the clock spring, was missing from this as well, which was an absolute nightmare to get. This gear knob is a little nod to what's under the bonnet because that's a Quaife gear knob. I think they feel really nice, matches the wheels, little details like that. Again, I think makes it all. And something else, because obviously it's got a DC5 shifter in here with the cables, you can't run a gate or anything. So usually people leave that open. I think that looks untidy. So yeah, got some carbon sheet, made it to fit in and around all the shifters best as possible, just to close up all the gaps. I think it looks really nice. I like it. Should we talk about the best bit then? And that is what is underneath the hood, or bonnet if you're from the UK. And that is the K20 power plant we have in here. While the car was away having paint done and stuff, I was busy in the background doing the gearbox and the engine. I built one of these a long time ago, and I've used a lot of those details from that car because it was my favourite car. shouldn't have sold it, but I've used a lot of those details in this build, such as the carbon plug cover, such as the password JDM brace. I've tried to do everything, so if you wanted to put a B16B back in there, you can. So we haven't like cut away anything or messed about with the original car. So obviously you've still got all the original holes there. We haven't bothered to smooth all the bay, because I don't particularly like that. I like everything being functional. The engine went all the way through it, inspected everything, put new timing chain, tensioner, guides, all of that on it. This is a Skunk 2 high flow intake plenum. It's actually from a K20Z3, but for these you can cut the end off and put it on, because these actually have a better flow rate than the normal Skunk 2 one. Gearbox as well, we haven't left that alone, stripped all that apart. Went through all the gears, cleaned all the synchros, made sure everything was good in there, and also put a Quaife LSD in there to match that gear knob. I know, unbelievable. And to make it more refined, we've put power steering on it. So down the bottom there was a DC5 power steering pump. Tucked all that in nicely so it kind of looks OEM plus. This engine came with the car, and it came with a few K-swap bits that were incomplete. Something it came with was that exhaust manifold, and before putting in all the engine and everything, put all the ABS system in, all of that stuff, because we wanted to run ABS. Put the engine in, put the manifold on, found out I couldn't put the manifold on because it's not compatible with ABS, so then had to take all of that back out, take all the ABS pump out, delete all of the ABS, get a different prop valve and all of that stuff. And that is just one of the milestones and headaches we had to work through. But there's other little details as well, like to kind of declutter it, like running all the washer jet lines out the way, just makes it a bit more clean, a bit more OEM plus. But now we've finished looking at it, we should probably let you guys hear it, because it does sound incredible, and also drive it, because I have road tested it and it's unreal. This is always the best part of a build, like when you finish a car and you finally take it out on the open road and just see whether all that hard work was worth it. And everything's just dialed. It is so good. I love it. Just want to stretch its legs, and we're out on some twisty roads now. Obviously we're hitting bumps and stuff, nothing's rubbing, because we don't do rubbing. I'm just going to feed it in a bit. I can say as much as I want about this car, but you just need to drive it. When you've driven a well set up Honda with a Revy engine, winning combination, once you get one of these out on track and you're up to speed, ain't nobody messing with you. Like, these handle like a mosquito, they are so good. And now the next thing is obviously one of you guys is going to win it. So hopefully you've enjoyed following the process. We do lots of builds in the background, but this is like one of the biggest ones we've done. Definitely. So it's been really nice to be part of that and show behind the scenes. And Christmas time, this could be one of your new cars, and it is bloody good. And on that note, I'm going to give it the old big one.